Doesn't have a 10 in it.
And the events that
its current configuration, no way.
Some of the best there, besides last weekend.
What's she on the 60?
1.6, 1.64.
And then what, 11?
11.30.
11.3.
Dude, first and second gear, car's hauling ass. Third gear, you could literally feel it pull the timing out. Like, it literally got. I was cooking like full meals by the time I was half track. So definitely pulling timing for heat. IETs were 182. Butt hurt. All right, so we're gonna attempt this again, boys and girls. We have 162 degree IAT2s right now. I'm gonna back it into the water box here a little bit. Rob is helping us. Get it back in auto mode here. We're gonna leave a little softer. Oh, it's diving already. 178. 180. Car just dies. It loses all power. The heat is killing us. Softer. I only left it like 1500 RPMs instead of the first time I launched around 2000. So, and I kind of slow played the leave and then hammered it. So hopefully that was enough to slow us down to the 1150, 1156, 1160. I mean, somewhere there, 1150, 1160. But damn, the car has a ton of power for the first 300 to 500 feet. Feels real good until those IATs just jump. Now we started at 162 and before the 8th mile it was already 178 IAT2, so that's trouble obviously. Thanks, brother. Jeez, 12.6. That is abysmal. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in fucking racing it. It's going 3 mile an hour slower. And I even went 2-1 to the 60 to try and slow it down. Ain't gonna happen today, boys and girls. I think we just park it and enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's a sad day in the kingdom. What's up, guys? So we took the GoPro out and unfortunately didn't get a chance to put it back in before they called the class back up. So I'm getting ready to run again. I'm gonna leave the phone in the center console just so I can audibly call out the IA2 temps so we can take a look at it. So currently we're in the staging lanes. We're 1 car back from the front and IATs are 138. It's 89 degrees outside. So all right, so we're next up. We're gonna avoid the water box here. It's 136 rolling. .138 stopped. .142.
These are the 1150 index racers. Again, it's on honor over the index.
169. All right, guys. So back in the pits. I just got knocked out by an amazing index racer. He does this all the time, Bill Lee, and he's got the awesome police car named Kilo. No love lost there. I am super stoked for them. They're moving on rounds. Obviously, I got out index raced by an index racer, and that is totally okay. Congratulations to Bill and his team for the victory. A couple of our guys that we're racing with today are moving on, so I'm excited for them. Just kind of wanted to recap real quick. So the issues with the car, with this particular situation, untested, untuned, uncertain of what the vehicle is going to do. I haven't raced this car. I haven't raced it on drag radials since it was in A. I haven't driven it on drag radials even. Anyway, moral of the story is untested, unproven, came out, was hoping the car would go 1080, 1090 something, right? It didn't. The heat killed us. The car was pulling, timing effectively before the 8th mile, and you can see that in my mile an hour and the time slips, and I could feel it physically in the car. I could feel the squat leave in the vehicle. Normally it's squatted down. I could feel that leave, and I could feel my rear end leveling out with the front end, meaning that the car started to plane down because it wasn't making enough power. And so I would feel that all the way through the big end, and unfortunately the car just wasn't making enough power with the timing out of it. And I mean, that's it for anybody who doesn't understand racing. Timing and power is equivalent to timing, essentially. You know, you're gonna make more power based on how much timing you're adding. You can run lower timing, more boost, those kinds of things. With this blower, it's a fixed number of boosts. The pulley is a fixed boost production, so it makes about 12 psi of boost. So the variable there is how much timing you can run. and the timing, the safe amount of timing that you can run varies based on the temperature of the engine and how much fuel you have. So for my setup and my system and the current configuration, the heat was just too great to overcome the amount of timing that I'm safely able to run for the type of fuel and the type of setup I have. So with all that being said, I wanted to run a 1050 class. I couldn't qualify in the 1050 index. The car was never gonna go 10 anything this week in its current situation. So we bumped the car to the 1150 index, which I was much more, I had much more hope or hell, you know, I think I felt like I felt more hopeful that I had an opportunity. And so we went to the 1150 index. The car went 1120 and 1130, which means I should be slowing down to make the 1150 index. Otherwise we'll break out. Because in 1150 index, again, for those of you that don't know, if you run faster than 1150, you're DQ'd, even if you won the race. That's called breaking out. So my car had gone 11.2 and 11.3, so if it would have gone another 11.2 and 11.3, I would have broke out even if I beat the guy that I was competing against. So I drew Bill Lee. Bill Lee out-treed me, out-60'd me, out-330'd me, out-8th-miled me, and I out-mile-an-hour'd him to the 8th because he was already starting to probably pedal it and let out because he knew that he was on a line. I think he and I were probably both headed for a you know, bottom 11 pass at that time. So I saw him starting to feather it and pedal it, and I said, well, I need to do the same. And my goal was that maybe he would break out, and by me feathering it at the same time as him, that I wouldn't break out, he would break out, I'd catch the W. That was my strategy at that moment. So here's the slip. Let's see if we can get it to zoom in and focus at all. Hello? Bear with me. Hello? Ugh. Bear with me, guys. Okay, whatever. I'll just have a screenshot put in. I went 1.7 to the 60, 1 to the 8 at 95 mile an hour, and Bill got me with an 11.7 at 87 miles an hour. I went 11.90 at 96 miles an hour. So, stay tuned. We're gonna have some provisions that ultimately I want to turbocharge this car. So the struggle I have right now is, do I make the financial investment to make this blower work and make it go sub, you know, 1050s and be able to come back and compete in a 1050 class and have fun? Do I make that investment, or do I just scrap the blower and put that same investment plus the proceeds from selling this blower towards turbocharging the car? Because my heart of hearts, I want to turbocharge it. The story of why I did the FRPP blower in the Roush setup here is because this car, when you buy it from RTR, from Ford as a Spec 5, it would have this blower on it. I want to get my serial number from RTR. I want to earn that. I want the car to have earned it, and we've done that. So hopefully now we can get that from RTR, and once I have the serial number and go from there, I can turbocharge it and do as I please. So that's a wrap. I mean, we had a blast. We came out to FL2K 2019. We came, we saw, we conquered, we had fun. Didn't win by any stretch of the imagination, but I got 4 rounds in on the track with a car that I haven't raced you know, since last year. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot about the car. Shout out to anybody who's helped me, and there's no way I'm gonna remember everybody, but shout out to everybody for real, like from my wife to my parents to even my children, for them sacrificing their mom and dad being away for the weekend. They might not understand it at, you know, 9 and 8 and 3 years old, but later maybe they'll watch this footage and they'll understand that we understand that they sacrificed by letting us enjoy our passions and fun. So thanks to my wife for always supporting me, both financially and mentally and emotionally. Shout out to my team, Park Performance. Obviously Zach and Sanders and Andrew helped tremendously in getting the car ready and getting everything down here for the event. Shout out to everybody that came by, said hello. Shout out to Cy Lee from Lee Tuning and Racing. He's been in a tremendous amount of help on this. Shout out to Long Tube Headers for an amazing product. This car has gotten so many compliments for the way it sounds this weekend, and people were all amazed with it. And I repped the Long Tube shirt and hat yesterday. So shout out to Long Tube. Thank you guys. Love you. Shout out to Jeff from West Shore Automotive, hooking me up with the fat alignment. The car hooked and dead hooked and went straight as an arrow and has been dead consistent, leaving all weekend long. And hooks from a roll, hooks from a dig. It's just phenomenal. So shout out to Jeff. Thank you so much. Let's say, oh, shout out to Waldy and John from Wheel Tech. Thank you so much for getting me in and getting the drag radials on. Big ups to Vaughn and RTR and the crew for obviously inspiring me to build this car and do the blower, because I wouldn't have done this blower. So shout out to those guys. I'm probably forgetting 100 people, and I'm sorry, and I love you all, trust me. For now, that's it. We had a blast. Until next time, guys, stay tuned.